Best places to visit in Guyana. For endless adventure, Little Visited Guyana offers those in the know an authentic chunk of untouched South American wonderland, with colonial influences including all of the Netherlands, Britain and France, some pretty post-colonial town centers in a wild and untouched backcountry that goes from mist-topped tepuis to wild virgin rainforests. It's hardly surprising there's so much to see and do. One, Georgetown. Georgetown, the country's crumbling colonial capital, is distinctly Caribbean, with an alluring vibe, happening nightlife and some great places to eat. The interior of the country is more Amazonian, with its Amerindian communities and unparalleled wildlife viewing opportunities tucked quietly away from the capital's noise and bustle. From sea turtle nesting grounds along the country's north coast to monkeys and jaguars in the rainforest, and giant anteaters down in the southern savannas, Guyana's natural wonders are well worth the mud, bumpy roads and sweat. Miners, plantation builders, architects, statesmen and more all flocked to this corner of Demerara to play their part as the city went from Dutch to French to British rule, imbuing the town with the likes of Stabroek Market and whitewashed St. George's Cathedral as they went. The Parliament building is also worth a stop off, while the National Museum is a great place to get acquainted with local history. Two, Kaieteur Falls. Kaieteur Falls are without a doubt Guyana's most highly prized natural wonder. Watching 1140 metric tons of water shooting over a 250 meters cliff, the world's highest single drop falls, in the middle of an ancient jungle with few tourists in sight, is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Depending on the season, the falls are from 76 meters to 122 meters wide. The trail approaching the falls is home to scarlet guiana and cock of the rock birds, and minuscule golden frogs, best seen in the rainy season and or in the morning, which produce a potentially fatal poison. Three, Surama. The Amerindian community of Surama is set in 5 square miles of savanna which is ringed by the forest-covered Baganara Mountains. Surama's inhabitants are mainly from the Makushi tribe and still observe many of the traditional practices of their forebears. Surama shares a common border with the Iwokrama International Center for Conservation and Development along the Buro River, where you can canoe, allowing opportunities to observe a diverse abundance of wildlife. This isolated and idyllic location offers a serene and peaceful environment. Dawn hikes, led by surama guides across the savanna and up Surama Mountain, reveal a multitude of birds and fantastic views. The guides have lived their entire lives in the rainforest, and have an extensive understanding of nature and how to utilize its resources. Four, Iwokrama. The iwokrama-forest is in the heart of one of the 4 last untouched tropical forests of the world. It is located 300 kilometers south of Georgetown and encompasses 3,700 square kilometers of lush, pristine tropical rainforest. It was established as a living laboratory for tropical forest management and is now a protected area. The Iwokrama Canopy Walkway is based at Maui Sparu, near the southern boundary of the Iwokrama Reserve. The walkway is owned by the Iwokrama International Center and is managed by the Community and Tourism Services (CATS). This is a partnership of the indigenous Makushi community of Surama and 2 private sector companies, providing a unique model for ecotourism business development. With 80% of forest dwellers living in the forest canopy, the walkway provides the ideal opportunity to join the birds and experience the wildlife of the rainforest canopy. The walkway is a series of suspension bridges and observation decks of up to 30 meters, 98 feet, in height and 154 meters, 505 feet, in length. The unique construction allows trees to grow normally by using cables that are adjustable along with braces throughout the support structure. The 4 observation decks enable you to view the canopy from the mid and upper level forest canopy whilst allowing wildlife to remain relatively free from human intrusion. Linden. For almost a whole century, the settlement of Linden has been Guyana's primary mining hub, with thousands of prospectors and miners making their way to this tropical spot to pull bauxite from the hills that line the Demerara River. Today, the history and development of this mining past is chronicled in the Linden Museum of Socio-Cultural Heritage in the center of town, revealing the evolution of the place from tented outpost in the early 1900s to mechanized industrial center today, even if many of the shaft mines have now shut down. Other travelers will want to make a beeline for Gluck Island on the Essequibo to the west, with its red howler monkeys, colossal lily pads and tropical bird watching. 6. The Kanuku Mountains. The Great Peaks of Kanuku are divided in 2 by the long and winding water channels of the Rupununi River, separated into a duo of diamond-shaped highland regions that are both famed for their wealth of mammalian species and old-growth forests. It's actually rather rare that travelers will make their way this deep into the southern recesses of the nation, passing the tepuis peaks of Potoro-Siparuni and traversing great stretches of savanna and lowland forest to get here. Those who do come, however, can spy out the rare harpy eagle, giant otters in the riparian habitats and the colossal, though now rare, pirarucu fish. Baganara Island. Baganara Island is a well-kept luxury resort island in the midst of the Essequibo waters, located 5 miles south of Bartica, at the junction of where the Essequibo and Mazaruni rivers meet. Baganara Island is the perfect getaway to unspoilt rainforest, within its 187 acres of colorful tropical flowers and lush green foliage. This wonderful little island paradise has the beauty of nature surrounding your every move. You will have lots of space to relax and be alone at one with nature. Alternatively, there is the opportunity to undertake a variety of activities. These can range from water sports to exploring one of the nature trails into the rainforest. However you decide to spend your time. The pristine white sand beach set against the backdrop of the rainforest provides the perfect environment to unwind. #8. Shell Beach. From March to August, Guyana's endless swathe of unspoilt Atlantic coastline known as Shell Beach becomes the nesting ground to hordes of prehistoric-looking marine turtles. These turtles comprise 4 different species of the world's 8 most endangered turtles. The totally undeveloped seaside setting and the opportunity to experience this rare sighting makes the tropical coastline a natural paradise. 9. Lethem. As the gateway to Brazil, Lethem makes a popular pit stop for those crossing the border by land and boat. Skirting the South Rapa Nui area in Kanuku Mountains, it's a rugged land of sweeping plains dotted with mango and cashew trees and the ranches of local vaca cowboys. With its low-slung buildings and sense of remoteness, Lethem has its own charm. It also makes a good jumping-off point for exploring the savannah further. Dadanawa. At Dadanawa Ranch, 6,000 cattle roam free on 1,700 square miles while vaqueros attempt to tame wild horses and tackle anacondas. It's a place where wildlife shows are frequently filmed and researchers and scientists congregate to study the local ecosystem. Visitors can come and enjoy life on the working farm, joining vaqueros for rides, bird-watching expeditions, and learn about the age-old leather tanning process that makes up local production. Thanks for watching my video. Please like, comment and subscribe.